Alrighty then.
So let's be clear about the stakes. In the final shape, you will go inside the Traveler.
Bam.
The journey will be difficult. And what awaits you on the other side of this trek is nothing less than the deadliest entity we have ever faced.
That's all you need right there, people.
There aren't going to be any guides on the internet telling you how to handle what's to come. Whether you've been with us from the beginning, joined us somewhere along the road, or are looking at Destiny for the first time, anybody who shows up on launch day is going to be greeted with this same uncharted world. A vacuum-sealed experience begging for you to be the first person to peel it open.
For all of about 30 minutes, and then get ready for a flood of YouTube videos explaining everything in aggressive detail, including probably some from me, because this shit's about to be hype, people.
After all these years, we never talked about it.
Oh, it's gonna be sick.
Why I brought you back. Why you were chosen. The truth is, I didn't know then. It was just a feeling. But I know now. After all we've seen, all we've lost, this fight might be our last. So I'm asking you, one last time, to rise.
That's definitely going to be the armor for all three classes when Final Shape drops. But also, if you didn't notice, this is the tower from Destiny 1, all overgrown and crazy looking. The armor seems pretty good here, especially the helmets. But, you know, it's nothing crazy. I mean, you could probably make it look good with certain color schemes, but, I mean, the Hunter doesn't look that great. I think the Warlock and Titan probably got the better end of the deal on this one. But even still, the helmets look good for all of them. Not to mention, people, like, look at this place. I know this is a trailer right now, but if the main world is anything like this, with just giant floating random pieces of land that shouldn't be doing that, and they just say fuck physics, I'm so here for shit like that. First person Mario. But then again, they showed us falling out of a building in Lightfall. So, you know, maybe don't hold your breath when it comes to this shit. I would love for the map to look like this, but I don't know. We'll see. That, though, all right, people, if the new place that we're in looks anything like that, though, people are gonna love this shit. I guess all the maps look kind of crazy, but still, look at it. It looks fucking gorgeous. If Destiny is anything, it's a goddamn beautiful game. The shit like this in the background as you progress closer and closer. The shit like that, though? Come on, man. Like, ooh, a bunch of arms. They couldn't think of anything. Fuck you. You designed some shit for a video game. How about that? No, I'm kidding. I mean, look at it. I'm hype about it. Looks crazy. And then, of course, you've got the evil Eye of Sauron looking tower at the very end where the witness is hanging out. Because sure, why wouldn't he be? People, who doesn't like flowing arms that you probably have to jump through? I don't... Dude has the aggressive unibrow, and not a single person has cooked him for it. People, this final shot has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seemingly random guardians lining up. This might be a bit of a reach, but this could imply that they're going to have a 7-man raid for the final thing, which could be awesome. That'd be crazy. I'd be a big fan of that if it was a thing, actually. I don't know if it is, but this picture seems to imply it. I don't know why else they would have 7 people lined up unless they just want to make it look good. About as close as they can come to saying, hey, we're going to have a 7-man raid without actually saying anything about having a 7-man raid. Just the implication.
No. But the thing is she's not gonna say no. She would never say no because of the implication.
So, maybe.
Well, don't you look at me like that. You certainly wouldn't be in any danger. So they are in danger. No one's in any danger.
That remains to be seen, but I that's my 2 cents on the matter.
How can I make that any more clear to you? Okay, it's an implication of danger. You know what, just drop it. Let's drop it. You're not
And the release date, look at that, 2/27/24. Bam.
The Witness has the darkness. It has always had a connection to it. The pale heart of the Traveler is what it's trying to use to gain connection to the light. So with both, it can enact its final shape.
That place looks so
The Witness
crazy.
looks around and sees a lack of purpose, no meaning. It wants to fix all that. So it's trying to put the universe into this frozen perfection where everything's just exactly how it thinks it's supposed to be. That is the final shape.
Failure is not an option.
We're gonna need the Vanguard, all of our allies, and all the Guardians to rally together and be brave in the face of oblivion.
Yo, imagine she said be best in the face of oblivion.
Be best.
And be brave in the face of oblivion.
This shit, people,
In the
this
final
right
shape,
here.
we're going through the portal that the Witness has opened up to confront it and stop the final shape. Inside
This
the
looks so
Traveler is this
crazy.
infinite, vast, unknowable. And we're landing on the Pale Heart, which is a fraction of really what is inside the Traveler.
I guess those are kind of eyes and a nose and a mouth, but it seems like there's more face above his face. If the new map has just ridiculous shit like this scattered throughout it, especially oh man.
The Pale Heart is weird.
Yes!
It's a little strange. It makes me feel a bit uncomfortable.
Obviously the camera's doing weird things, but if you tilt your head to the side, it still looks kind of crazy. Well, I guess they're ups, dude. The MC Escher style staircases though, I'm here for it.
So cool and artistic in the best way.
Okay, that's a crazier staircase.
The Witness entered well ahead of any Guardians, and so it's had time to kind of shape what's there. When our Guardian enters, the rest of the Pale Heart starts getting shaped also around what we've experienced.
This is the Traveler recreating the world in front of you as it saw on your journey.
Oh my god, is that a giant ghost shell covered in green grass right there?
One of the most memorable locales from Destiny's past is the D1 Tower.
What the fuck?
It's really a labor of love from the Destiny team.
The Pale Heart is our very first linear destination that we've ever done.
Bam. You hear that, people? First linear destination they've ever done. Meaning, almost certainly, starting here, ending over here, versus like starting here, being able to go here, being able to go here, and then back here, like a circle, like most of their maps.
And feel it escalate in danger, in surrealness.
That's exactly the kind of shit I'm talking about. Danger and surrealness. I'm so here for all of that.
Because there is this beautiful evolution of the space.
Very much here for that. That looks so crazy. Obviously, it's subject to change, but
They see things that are more and more wrong as they begin to go towards the Witness's monolith. It's kind of this omnipresent, foreboding thing off in the distance.
The weirdest things happen as you get closer to the monolith in the form of reshaping. Kind of like deconstructing things and putting them back together just wrong.
that right there, they're literally just giving the art team just go nuts. Make some ridiculously like weird, wrong shit.
Wrong.
The sense of scale you get out there, like as you're exploring these spaces and you're jumping on these reshaped cuboids of Earth.
Like, if the new map is anything like this layout-wise, with just chunks of Earth just, like, cut out.
You feel tiny as a guardian.
I'm trying to feel tiny.
Excuse me, sir. Have you...
Wow! What?
Jumping through mad nonsense.
Didn't it make you feel humiliated? Did it make you feel small?
That's what it is. It made me feel teeny tiny, like Thumbelina.
That's what I was going for, Thumbelina.
You feel alone. You feel like you are not the force to be reckoned with that you have been. You're not the God Slayer right now. You're just this.
If new crazy maps just equals faces and fingers sticking out of stuff, I'm low-key here for it.
This little person jumping from these massive pieces to massive pieces.
That looks crazy. That's a ridiculous shot.
One of the things that we really tried to also capture is that the witness keeps throwing everything it has at you. And so you're going to fight these new enemies, the subjugators.
The subjugators look crazy. Look at this motherfucker in his green shoulder pads.
Subjugators are the new unit you're going to be facing in the final shape.
Look at this man with his goddamn strand super suspending. Look at him. Look at him suspending this man.
But they have an enhanced power set. Forming stasis powers. And
look at this Rolk looking ass motherfucker with his goddamn blue floating. Like, look at him. How can you not be excited to fight these motherfuckers?
They're performing stasis powers and strand powers.
Here, he charges up his spear. And clearly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 projectiles come out compared to the Strand Hunter's 1 throwing knife, whatever. Or I guess the Warlock's 3, I don't know.
Well, in support of all the other enemies you're fighting too.
They bring something entirely new to the battlefield, which is kind of this element of control.
I mean, look at this man. Look how swagged out he is, implying he just killed these two. But
they're back there.
Like, come on now. Look at this. Look at this man and his big misshapen trapezoid head. How are you not a fan of that? His giant blue staff.
Pinging away with stasis abilities, throwing crystals at you, freezing you in place, tangling you up.
That is a beautiful shot.
We're focusing you.
Like, look, that's clearly like, oh my god, look, the ramen shop. It's gonna be like the Dreaming City, man. Like, on the level of, like, we have no... I mean, I guess all the new planets have been like that, but...
It's the most important thing in the universe at that moment. You have to stop the final shape from happening.
And for that, we do need the help with our allies. And so we're going to make sure that the core Vanguard team gets back together. Zavala and Ikora and Cade.
Every single still image I do, there's like a face or an arm or some weird shit sticking out because the Witness just loves body parts.
The campaign is just the start of the Pale Heart. After you've reached the monolith and finished the campaign, we open up the entire destination, and so the entire Pale Heart is going to react to you and what you are doing.
I don't know what that means, but apparently once you get to the end, the entire place opens up, and I'm assuming that means with fast travel points, but either way, dude, just a giant crazy map that has broken physics all throughout it, and that's like part of the lore of why it's fucked up in the first place. Here for it.
The campaign in the final shape doesn't really end with the final mission. The raids are where you defeat like the big bosses. So it's only natural that when you are going to confront the Witness, you're going to do that in the raid. But that might not be enough. This is a moment where we need to rally all Guardians to be able to overcome the final shape and the Witness.
In the final shape, we are inside the Traveler, very close to this energy. This allows us to have new supers, Arc, Solar, Void.
You know, he says that, but really he means Void Titans, Arc Hunters, Solar Warlocks. What would be really hype, imagine each class had 3 new supers. That would be crazy. Essentially, it's 3 new supers total, 1 for each class.
We want to create something that turns you into an offensive powerhouse, but also can benefit your allies in a support capacity. There is this thread of team play and like working with your friends to overcome the odds.
arguably one of the biggest announcements of the entire update right here, people, was these new supers. This shit looks insane, especially the Void Titan axes here that you can throw.
The Warlock Super is this ultimate expression of solar energy coursing through your Guardian. This Solar Warlock Super is a callback to Radiance from D1.
Shout out to all the self-res Warlocks from D1.
Other than Golden Gun, this is the only other first-person super in Destiny right now. Your melee's like all these projectiles going off, doubling the amount of projectiles.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Going off.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Your grenade almost being sentient as it searches around, and then it hits a character and bounces off and goes to another one. And you're so overflowing with this energy that you are also giving it to your allies, allowing them to have their solar weapons supercharged, applying Scorch when they're shooting.
The new Solar Warlock aspect, when I cast my Rift, it is going to create this little solar soul that when it sees an enemy, it launches part of itself out and hits the enemy and explodes and scorches them.
It just feels very alive.
Nice.
Twilight Arsenal. It's a layered super.
This is the only ranged one-off offensive super for Titans in the game. The Titan jumps up into the air, summons this giant void axe, throws it, summons another one, throws it, summons another one, looks at a different group of enemies, throws it. Summons another one, looks at a different group of enemies, throws it. And when these axes fly through the air, they stick into the ground or an enemy, do their void gravity thing where they suck a bunch of energy and enemies in and then explode. But that doesn't destroy the axe. The axe sticks around and you and your allies can go and pick up that axe and start wailing on enemies with it.
This super is insane to me.
I mean, what more do you need me to say, people? You can pick up the axes and beat people with them. Of course it's awesome.
The Void Titan aspect, I press and hold my grenade button to consume my grenade and turn it into the shield. The more damage it takes, the more it charges up, and then I can release that, and it creates this blast that deals massive damage.
They're just out here watching all the Marvel movies for powers.
You've been taking bullets, charging it up with kinetic energy.
Where'd he go?
Still dope, though.
The Hunter Arc Super.
Arc is all about finding the shortest distance between 2 points. The Hunter kind of rears back, takes this knife and throws it across the world, and then is able to blink to its position, do the slash that just decimates anyone nearby.
One really great thing.
That's ridiculous. Like, what? Like, come on now.
One really great thing about that is not just you do it once, but you're able to do it 3 times, along with devastating attacks each time you do it.
The Hunter has an aspect. We take our staff, we twirl it in the air, which propels us upward. It creates this burst, which amplifies you and any allies near you.
It almost makes it feel like you're playing a fighting game, right? Like these combos that you're chaining together to do these different moves. It like takes that sandbox to the next level.
The more aspects we have, the more capable we are to do that.
It feels like you're like riding the lightning, you know? Like that instantaneous, like,
you know?
I like it, I like it.
Looks ridiculous.
Weapon team, we have Tessellation, which is this exotic pyramid fusion rifle. It has the really intriguing property of adapting your Guardian's current damage type.
This will be the first time that you can run a weapon that can adapt to be strand or stasis in the energy slot. So you'll be able to run an entirely strand or entirely stasis loadout. Tessellation has the additional property that you can special reload to reshape your grenade and suck it into the weapon, and then fire out a super destructive single projectile.
What? That's a crazy fucking property. What?
To reshape your grenade and suck it into the weapon, and then fire out a super destructive single projectile.
Look at that. That's awesome. Oh my god.
It's a really special weapon. So we've got this opportunity to bring back these iconic Destiny 1 weapons, but really turn it into something that feels unique in Destiny 2.
Meaning they're going to bring back some more old ones, but do new things with the perks? Why not? I'm here for it.
We have to bring Kvastok.
Kvastok, sure.
Into the fold.
The Red Death exotic pulse rifle.
And Dragon's Breath. In the final shape, we have new weapon subfamilies coming, broadening what existing weapons can be.
Really like bordering on exotic functionality. So for example, we've got a rocket pistol sidearm subfamily. We always liked the special ammo sidearms. This fires tiny, slow-moving rockets. They hit very hard, do a bit of AoE damage. They have a mixture of regular weapon and rocket launcher stats. We're also doing a new support weapon subfamily.
The support frame auto rifle is a type of legendary auto rifle. It'll let you switch seamlessly from firing at enemies to healing your allies. I'm really excited to bring it to dungeons and keep my team alive, honestly.
Weapons team is always coming up with new ideas. We've got a ton of new cool stuff coming over the next few years, and some new and really wild ideas, which we're pretty excited about.
Come on, take a load off. We've got a lot to cover. This place is only big enough for one dashing hero type, and that's me, so. I'm back! Hey, you two, give me a sec.
Obviously, Cade being back, everyone is going to be hype about. Who doesn't love it?
I was magnificent. This is great. Anyone want a hug? Get your rock off my map. Worst case scenario, you die. But who knows? Maybe you won't.
People, it's Cade. Obviously, his shit's hype.
Just feels so natural for Nathan to be back in the booth. It felt amazing to just see him slip back into the role, like, without missing a beat.
Right,
instantly.
In the flesh, or metal, as it were.
Cade's the glue that's always held Zavala and Ikora together. Having him back puts them in a position of questioning where they've been and what they've done without him.
You think about the journey that Zavala's been on and how he's been taken down this dark path, and you think about the weight that's been on Ikora, having to hold the Vanguard together, having Cade's voice of levity and brightness that he brings to that group. I think it's going to be great for them.
Well, at least we have each other. I'm here now.
Shout out to whatever upgraded form of Ace of Spades is going to come out with this ridiculous lighting. Or imagine that's just Cade's. He's the only one who gets the special one. Either way, look at this sexy man.
Wherever the hell here is.
Guardian.
Yo, here we go. Here we go. Doing what's going on this season, though.
The witness poses a dire threat. And the Witch Queen holds the answers we seek. But only if we contend with her sister, Zivu Araf. It rests with me. Will you come back from this? Do not be afraid.
Bring me your tithes.
That looks crazy.
You now wield hive magic and have entwined it with your light. Assault the Spire, Guardian, and open the way to our tithes.
What? What? They added the Hive Boomer weapon finally for yo. Look at it. Oh, stop.
Let them know fear.
Yo, is she just holding a sword also like a ball? Okay, Eris. Dude, Hive Eris could get it.
The deck of whispers, and they do whisper.
Yo, dude, the fact that they're adding an entire fucking card game, like, subsystem to this is kind of ridiculous.
Fight in my name, Guardian.
New finishers. Okay, let's see. Boom,
Every
boom,
opponent you defeat
boom.
strengthens me.
That armor looks crazy also. Goddamn. New weapons, new armor.
My appetite rises for your brutal tributes. Let us show her what it is to be Hive. You have sounded the horn of battle! You are deserving of the greatest death I can bestow.
Can you imagine Xivu Arath doesn't get killed in like a raid like her two siblings? She's like the worst one. Unless she survives past our conflict with the Witness and we have to kill this bitch after the fact.
The Season of the Witch is our opportunity as players. We've been annihilating and breaking Hive spells, and now we finally get to cast them.
At the end of Season of the Deep, we learn that Savathun has the key to getting into the portal that we need to go into. That means we have to go find Imaru, her ghost. Imaru's like, not so fast. We've got a bigger problem first, and that bigger problem's name is Xivu Arath. If we fight her, she only gets stronger. Eris has an idea. It's a really
good
It's
idea.
a wild-ass idea, yeah. She determines, like, well, the best way to fight fire is with fire. We are channeling all of that energy that we're creating by going through, by eliminating enemies, and we're tithing to our friend Eris.
Bring me your tithes.
What does that mean for the characters and the player to kind of like be like Savathun? And that's where we went down the path of having Hive Eris. We want to extend that magical fantasy into the player then. That ability to have overwhelming magical power, that risk and reward into all of our activities and systems experiences. And so that's what led us to come up with things like Deck of Whispers.
The Deck of Whispers here, people, this is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen them implement. They literally are bringing card game mechanics into Destiny, people. Do you see this?
It's this magical deck of cards that creates amazing synergies with your build-craft meta and with buffs and the activities.
They can then choose these cards at will, whichever ones they want, and then that really leans into the build crafting.
Look at this right here, people. There's so many cards that you could they like literally added a full deck of cards into this game. It's kind of hype. I'm kind of here for it. Although if I have to do a daily bounty to unlock each of these cards, I'm gonna be tight.
You actually are getting cards that you can then use to place on the battlefield and change the way you play.
I'm such a sucker for deck building. Like, being able to like bring that element into Destiny gameplay has just been like, oh, chess.
It's
really
super
fun.
So we've got two brand new seasonal activities coming with Season of the Witch. We've got Altars of Summoning and Savathun's Spire.
Savathun's Spire is our new 3-player offensive. You're doing a lot more with the Lucent Hive magic, but it's got a high amount of combatant density. It's got additional random encounters that you can come across.
The Witch's Spire itself, Savathun's Spire, was like her reliquary for all these different magical experiments as she was learning the light. You're there in order to learn as much as you can in order to become a master spellcaster, right? To become like Savathun.
Dude, the new seasonal activity also looks absolutely ridiculous. I mean, everything about this new season, huge fan of it.
The Altar of Summonings activity is really exciting because you can spend like 20 minutes in it or you can spend 2 hours in it.
Never mind. That's horrifying. The fact that they're drawing cards and all that, this looks compelling. Although two hours in this activity, no one wants to spend 2 hours in an activity.
It's a 3-player experience that you can hop in and hop out of. As you're going through this activity, you're filling the tithing bucket. As that tithing bucket is filled up, you'll get progressively more rewards. And then finally at the end, it'll cash out and you'll get a whole mess of rewards.
We really wanted to make sure that there was a home for any exotic mission content coming in seasons after the year has passed. And so we developed what we're calling the Exotic Mission Rotator.
Right away, we're getting Presage, Vox Obscura, and Operation Seraph Shield.
This is some of the most fun content the team has making. It's some of the content the fans and players of Destiny love the most. The most exciting thing, outside of just the missions themselves, is that every time we put a mission inside of that rotator, the exotic that comes alongside of it will become craftable.
So obviously, Dead Man's Tail is now craftable. That's a nice touch.
With Season of the Witch, we have a brand new Vex lo-fi PvP map coming. It's really exciting. It's got a bunch of really tight gameplay.
People, I'm a sucker for anything that has these blue Vex cubes in it, and a new PvP map coming out this season looks absolutely ridiculous. Big fan of this.
It's got a bunch of really tight gameplay experiences. We wanted to make sure that we focus the combat a little bit more. With the new Vex network map, we really wanted to make sure we hit is like, hey, you're shoulder to shoulder more often. There's not as much deep sight lines that you're interacting with. And a lot of the flow of the map is actually built around this like kind of central pillar of the Vex network that you're orienting around.
And there's also some modes coming too, right?
We've got a new PvP game mode coming that's all about relics. It's about multiple relics, so it's not just one like the Scorch game mode from the past. So we've got the shield coming from Vault of Glass, we've got the spear back from Season of the Risen.
And we've got the scythe from Season of the Haunted.
Yeah, so you're gonna be reaping Guardians with that thing. It's a lot more tactical gameplay. It's all about running around the map, claiming these relic dispensers, and then grabbing them in order to push for victory.
I will take what I need. The words in my throat are the weapon in my fist.
We were feeling pretty Hy-Vee this season, obviously. There's something in the air. And so when thinking about like, what's a good raid reprisal that would really suit this very Hy-Vee season, there's only one answer.
Obviously, people, you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
I have seen what the Hive call a god.
Crota! Of course, of course.
Only a true weapon of the light can stop his wrath.
People, we all pretty much knew it was coming, but I'm here for it.
Heading into the final shape, we really want to rally all Guardians at the end of the Light and Darkness saga. We want to reduce those power barriers, as well as catch people up on key story beats and make sure that they have a really great and easy time connecting with other players. In the final shape, we're trying to find ways to make power more simple and easy to understand, and also lowering the barrier to entry.
It's going to make it easier for players who have not been able to jump into game easily because they were held back by the challenges in grinding for the power levels that are required by these different activities.
One of the major changes that's going to be happening starting with the final shape is there are going to be a certain number of activities that are going to be power fixed. So it doesn't matter kind of what power level you are going into it, you're always going to be able to approach it. There's still going to be tiers of difficulty that you can do, things that are just meant to be experienced a certain way.
Things like Nightfall strikes that will still have power enabled, and that's where we're really going to focus the whole power climb.
The raids, the contest modes that everybody loves to engage with, that experience is fundamentally going to be staying the same.
I'm excited for this because I think there will be a lot more clarity for players in terms of understanding the relative difficulty of things, where they sit now in the spectrum.
One way that we're trying to do that is making it easier for new players to engage with you. So we're introducing something that we're calling Fire Team Power.
You can actually bring your friends along to play any dungeons and raids in the game without having to wait them to be at a certain power level. The person with the highest power in your fire team is actually going to bring all the others close to their power level, which means that there's no barriers really for any other Guardian to join you.
Look at this, 1900 gets raised to 1975, gets raised to 1995.
When it's combined with Fire Team Finder, it also allows you to find strangers, people you've never played with before, and have that same experience. That's all regardless of the power level of you and the rest of the people in your fire team.
Fire Team Finder is the new feature that's coming in Season 23, aimed at helping connect and find other people to complete the best and most aspirational content in connect and find other people to complete.
They're literally adding LFG finally to this game. Look at it, raids, dungeons, see, like, come on now.
The best and most aspirational content in Destiny. We have a tag system that allows players to be able to say, well, this is my playstyle.
They have tags, they have emotes.
I'm really chill.
What? Come on now. Come on now, that's pretty good.
I'm anti-sweat. I'm just really here to have a good time. Exactly.
Tags really allows players to show a little bit more personality, show a little bit more about what they're about. I think what's really great about it is with
Basically removing the need for ever having LFGs again.
launch,
They have emojis.
we're also looking at including inclusion tags.
As an example, one of the inclusion tags that we have are for colorblind players.
What? Shout out to the colorblind.
Hopefully the inclusion tags will bring players closer to finding their community and even closer to the people that they're playing with. So once a listing goes live, players will be put into a listing lobby where players can gather
Really reminiscent of old school Halo 2, Halo 3 days.
and communicate with each other. So we wanted to make it as convenient and as easy as possible for players to not just sit and stare at a screen for a long time while their listing actually fills up.
As a gamer who's typically more solo, I'm especially excited about this because it really is about helping reduce that anxiety and burden that comes with trying to make a new connection. The feature coming out today that I'm incredibly excited about is Timeline Reflections. Essentially what we have done is we've went back to previous expansions and pulled out missions that we felt really represent key narrative beats within our story. We're going to have a mission for Forsaken, a mission for Beyond Light, as well as a mission for Witch Queen.
Thanks for the memories, Guardian.
The neat thing about these missions is they're not going to be like one-to-one for how you would experience them in the campaign. You're also going to get additional pieces of narrative fed to you to like identify like, hey, this is why it's important that this happened, and here are the people you met along the way.
A really big one that's really timely for Final Shape is Cayde's last stand from Forsaken. This is a moment that a lot of players, new and old, are going to come back to Destiny. I think this is just the right time to introduce features that are going to allow those players to jump right in and find people to play with and enjoy this content regardless of their power level.
We're reaching the end of this 10-year journey. What comes next?
The episodes, and the new way we're going to tell stories moving forward.
What's really important about episodes is that it's a really big shakeup to what we've been doing. Instead of providing 4 seasons a year, you are going to get 3 larger episodes. And so the first 3 episodes in this coming year are called Echoes, Revenant, and Heresy. It's coming right after the Final Shape.
Sure.
And the theme for the year is going to be all about the consequences and aftermath of the Final Shape. I think what's really the cornerstone of the episode model that we're building is the 3-act structure. The acts act as these anchors for us to introduce new weapons, new artifact mods, new activities. There's going to be new missions coming around the core. There'll be new story moments in every single one of these acts. We're actually providing more cinematic styled experiences throughout the Final Shape year and the episodes with it than any of the seasons we've ever developed before.
These new stories are actually playable as standalone. Like each episode is something you can experience, whether you've been playing Destiny for 10 years or this is your first one.
Oh, sure.
You're going to be able to basically enjoy them in any order you want to.
I think the opportunity with this big epic moment is that we get to innovate the game. We get to move the game forward.
It's all about change frequently. It's all about deeper story moments. It's all about more weapons, more loot, more often. And it really provides the team with a platform to go much deeper into the themes and fantasies and story of any individual episode as compared to the seasons you know of today.
I'm so excited to see what the narrative team can do with this kind of new platform of storytelling. Episodes provides this awesome foundation for the future of Destiny.
We're moving into the next stage of Destiny 2. I think some people look at the Final Shape and they think Destiny 2 is coming to the end. And in many ways, it's the opposite. We're leaning in. We're putting the pedal to the metal. Episodes provide us a new, innovative way for players to engage with Destiny 2 throughout the year.
Every 6 weeks, new quest, new story, new activities, new fucking... not new armor, though. They're like, fuck you. You get new armor once every 18 weeks. But all the other shit, pass ranks, pass rewards, all that, that's... I don't know what Echoes or Revenant is, but I'm imagining Heresy is finally killing Xivu Arath, but who knows? They better come out with a new raid to kill her, though. Who knows, though, all right? March to June, July to October, November to February.
What makes a guardian a guardian? Devotion, bravery, sacrifice. We know that we were chosen for a reason. By something greater than ourselves.
Guardian. Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian.
Shaped by the fires of each new battle, we are forged and sharpened into what we must become for the fight ahead. We are the final line that halts the second collapse.
All of us. Every Titan. Every Warlock. Every Hunter.
What is it the Guardians say? Devotion inspires bravery.
Bravery inspires sacrifice.
Sacrifice leads to death.
The line between light and dark is so very thin.
Let's cross it together.
There are things out in the dark that only the dark can overcome. Trust me.
You've heard the stories of the Traveler's sacrifice, of darkness descending upon humanity.
Our purpose is its end.
This time, there is no escape.
And as the dust settles in the final shape, we're going to continue our legends in Echoes. It's Destiny's first episode in a new phase of storytelling for Guardians with brand new conflicts born from the resolution of the Light and Darkness saga. These first episodes are just the beginning. But if you're chomping at the bit to see how the Light and Darkness saga is going to kick off the future of Destiny 2, we've got a ton of great content for you to jump into today. Going live after this, we've got Season of the Witch, with a new story, new weapons, new armor, new activities, and new PvP content, all alongside a series of story catch-up missions, allowing any of your friends to jump into the game and get up to speed on what's happening in this world. Then, next week, a brutal reprisal of Crota's End is going to join the ranks of our aspirational content. I can't wait to see you all in the Throne World as we learn more about the final shape and how we can stop it.
Do not be afraid.
Bring me your tithes.
After all these years, all we've lost, this fight might be our last. So I'm asking you to rise one last time.
Fire! People, I think this game is going to be one of the biggest games of 2024. I'm going to be making videos about it for sure. I'm into it big time. And yeah, that's it. That's it as far as the showcase goes. People, I think this game is going to be dope. You know the spiel. Check the channel, leave a like, thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the fun stuff. Check Twitch and Discord. Both those links are in every description. Appreciate all of you guys watching. And I will catch you on the next one. Peace. Bam.